Today in the Daily Dose, everyday life in colonial America. While life in colonial America was harsh compared to modern living standards, colonial Americans employed commonly used tools in their homes and village lives that helped them survive and even thrive, despite their exposure to frigid winters, increasingly hostile Native Americans, and the constant struggle for sufficient food stocks. Common tools employed in most colonial households included bayberry, whale oil, or tallow candles, which gave colonials their only source of light besides the family hearth fire, while children as young as 6 were frequently employed in carding, which removed tangles from freshly sheared wool, making it easier to straighten before spinning it into thread. While a formal education was considered unnecessary for young girls, most colonial children learned reading, writing, and mathematics from their parents or local ministers, using hornbooks as they were known, which was a sheet of paper attached to a tablet of wood, leather, or bone, all covered by a thin, transparent strip of horn. While well-heeled young girls refined and practiced their needlework skills on ever-present samplers. In an age before video games and mass-produced toys, colonial children made whirligigs out of bone, clay, and the occasional spare button, making for hours of simple amusement as they warmed themselves beside the family hearth fire. Other common household items included the fire bucket, which was employed in early bucket brigade firefighting, while time was told almost exclusively with the use of sundials. Although on overcast days, sundials became useless ornaments in colonial villages. Other basic conveniences within the colonial home included such medieval carryovers as pomanders, which usually included an orange studded with cloves and covered in oils and spices to give colonial homes a pleasant smell, while warming pans filled with hot ashes from the hearth fire were passed between bed sheets on frigid New England nights, warming straw-stuffed mattresses before colonials tucked in until dawn. Colonials ate off of wooden plates known as trenchers, generally with their hands, employing sugar nippers for much coveted sugar cones to add sweetness to foods and beverages. Salt cellars were another carryover from medieval Europe, defining the status of diners above the salt for guests of honor who sat at either end of the family table, while children and less important guests sat below the salt on either side of a table, making everyday life in colonial America a civilized stronghold against the daily challenges of a harsh new world. And there you have it, everyday life in colonial America. Today on the Daily Dose. Get your nerd on with the Daily Dose. And if you enjoyed today's episode, share the link with a friend or colleague so that they too can learn something new every day.